Hello YouTube and welcome to PsiPrimeProductions. I'm a new YouTube channel, so bear with me as I figure things out. Alright, today is just going to be a quick unscripted Q&A session. On my community tab on my YouTube page, I asked people for Pathfinder questions and I got a couple, so I thought I'd just answer them unscripted. I do have a few notes. I'll also do a little bit of audio and video editing just to make sure your ears don't bleed when you hear this. I still don't have great video capturing ability, and I'm also a pretty fugly guy in real life. You don't want to look at this mug. So I'm going to throw up some video footage for Quest for the Golden Candelabra. That is an amateur Pathfinder2e video game that came out recently. I know it doesn't have great graphics, but considering it was made by people in their spare time for no money, it's completely free on Steam, it's pretty good. It's also really great as an introduction to Pathfinder2e. It explains the rules really well. Alright, so first question comes from Asufocation. I hope I said that right. And this isn't really a question, it's more of a request for top 5 magical items to give your players as a DM. You know what? I don't know what your players are. This is going to vary a lot based on the campaign you're in, what kind of players you have, what their classes are. But I will give you 3 tips I have for giving out magic items. The first one is, if you want to drive up engagement with your players, all you have to do is basically put a backstory behind the weapons they get. As an example, I'm currently running a Season of Ghosts campaign, and very minor spoilers, but early on in the campaign, the players are given access to the city armory to help defend the town, and the armory has a +1 weapon in it. And I thought that was kind of boring, and since the town basically was set up as a community to help a local monastery, I decided that the monastery gave a +1 Sansetsukan, or 3-section staff, to the town as thank you for supporting them. And that was what was in the armory with like a little plaque. My player loves it. He abandoned his bow staff for the Sansetsukan. He really likes it. It's a fun idea. It drove up engagement a lot. Second thing you can do is go find unique magic items and then change them, but don't actually increase their power. You have to be careful about that. But you can do great things like the smoking sword, which you find in the beginner's box, is a +1 sword that does 1 extra fire damage every round. Not a d6 fire damage. It doesn't light things on fire with a critical hit. But it does do extra fire damage, and that is fun. And so what you could do is change out the longsword for like a long spear and change out the fire damage to, say, acid, and then you have an entirely new magic item. I actually did that for a campaign, and I was able to come up with a whole backstory for it. It was really fun. The third thing you can do is just follow the rules for Pathfinder2e. They give you pretty good rules of when you can give out treasure and how much to give out. In general, you can start giving out items that are about 1 level above what the party level is. Don't give all those out, but like at level 1, the party might find 1 or 2 +1 weapons. At level 4, the party might find 1 +1 set of armor. And then make sure that everybody has the magic items they need by the time they're about 1 or 2 levels beyond what the thing is. So, or 1 or 2 levels beyond what the tier requirement is. So essentially at level 3 or 4, you want to make sure everybody has at least a +1 weapon. Start looking into giving people striking weapons at that point. Just follow the rules. They work pretty well. That Via actually has a question. They say that they have an armor inventor that is falling down in combat a lot and not doing a lot of damage and feeling useless. What should they do? It's actually... First answer is always just talk to your GM. Ask your GM what's going on, if you can retrain, if you can maybe switch out characters. Work with your GM here. That being said, you kind of have to play the game that Pathfinder2e wants you to play. If you want to be a melee upfront armor inventor, then I would suggest having around 16, or +3 strength, +1 dex, +1 con, +4 intelligence, and just, maybe don't be the first one to run in. Let like a fighter or a barbarian run in first, and then you run in second so that everybody's focused on the big barbarian and taking those big initial hits. If you're really having trouble, I do know that the inventor does eventually get some feats that let them like blast out fireballs or shoot off lightning bolt kind of style things. Maybe you could look into getting those feats and then just stand in the back and shoot off blasts. That might also work. Final question for today is intro neurotic. They actually asked 3 questions, and they were all not actually questions, even though I asked for questions. They were ideas for new videos. I'm just going to go with his first question / idea for a video, and I may save the others for later Q&As. He wants a video series on the top 5 archetypes for each class. I could maybe do that in the future, but that is a big ask. There are a lot of classes out there and a lot of archetypes. And I'm not sure if that would do very well on YouTube. So, I'm going to just list my favorite 5 archetypes that people tend to not consider. First of all, honorable mention, everybody knows the Sentinel archetype. It's very popular. It's really good. I have to throw it out and mention it, but everybody knows it, so I feel like it doesn't deserve a place in my top 5. By the way, these upcoming top 5, if I didn't mention your favorite archetype, it doesn't mean I hate it. It just means, I've only got 5 slots. So, one is the Champion archetype. Gives you proficiency in all armors. And then I think there's a level 14 champion feat that gives you expert in all armors. That's great for spellcasters. If you have like a warrior bard or like a sorcerer who wants to be in full plate mail and not be super squishy, champion dedication is just fantastic. Number 2 is another class archetype, and it's rogue. Rogue gives you training in light armor. It doesn't go up to expert, but there's some workarounds you can do. It also gives you a skill feat. It also gives you training in 2 skills, and it gives you the rogue's surprise attack class feature. It's really stupid how much stuff the rogue archetype gives you. Plus, it sets you up for having a d6 sneak attack at level 5, which is fantastic. Number 3, I'm going to go with Acrobat. A lot of people kind of sleep on Acrobat. It's not fantastic, but Acrobat is, I think, the only archetype, I could be wrong about this, I think it's the only archetype that auto-upgrades a skill that's not a lore skill. It auto-upgrades Acrobatics, which is phenomenal for swashbucklers. Swashbucklers need to up both Acrobatics and their subclass skill in order to have any shot at being able to generate panache reliably. And that means you don't get to upgrade any other skills. You're stuck with those 2 skills until like level 11. If you take the Acrobat feat, that basically gets rid of that problem. It auto-upgrades Acrobatics, so you can actually upgrade a skill you might want to upgrade, like Medicine or something. Another archetype that people tend to not look into, but is really good, is Medic. It's just phenomenal. It gives you bonuses to battle medicine. It makes you even better at healing people. If you don't have, like, a reliable means of healing in your party, like, some parties won't need this, right? Some parties will have, like, a wood kineticist with the ability to give out fruit, healing fruit, or a bard that can just heal everybody and then refocus, and then heal everybody and then refocus with Healing Song, or a champion with Lay on Hands. If your party doesn't have that, then the Medic archetype can really help you gain a whole bunch of healing very quickly, and Battle Medicine in combat does really well as well. So, Medic archetype, I really enjoy it. A lot of people go for it. The number 1 archetype that I think a lot of people sleep on is Martial. The Martial archetype is just phenomenal. It gives you kind of like a mini bard aura that helps everybody out. You don't even need to spend an action on it. But the really great thing is that it can get you at level 6 Reactive Strike. It's called Attack of Opportunity because the Martial archetype hasn't been reprinted in Remaster yet, but it's effectively Reactive Strike. Hi guys, editor PsiPrimeProductions here. I realized I messed up. Marshall gets you attack of opportunity / reactive strike at level 8, not level 6. It's still one of the few ways to get it before like level 12 when you can pick it up with like barbarian feat. So, point still stands. I'm sorry I messed up. The only other way to get reactive strike that early, if you're not a class that gets it, like if you're, say, a monk, is to go into fighter dedication, and that's not great for a lot of classes because fighter dedication, the base feat, only gives you training in all martial weapons, and that's not great. A lot of classes already have that. Like, if you want to be a war priest with a attack of opportunity / reactive strike, war priests at level 3 become proficient in all martial weapons. It's useless to go into fighter archetype. But you could go into martial, get that nice aura surrounding you, and level 6, get attack of opportunity / reactive strike. Really useful. A lot of people don't know about that. All right, that's all for today. Just a quick Q&A session. I hope to do some more of these Q&As. I'll post another thing in my community tab asking for more Pathfinder2e questions, and we can do another QA session here. I'd like to make this like maybe weekly or every other week, but we'll see how it goes. If you like this channel and want to see it grow, please like and subscribe. That tells not only me, but also YouTube that you want to see more of my kind of content. Until then, thank you, good luck, and happy gaming.